What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PHDJ podcast, your first episode of 2020.
2020, Joe. Happy New Year.
I'm Joe Bunn, and that right there, my friends, is Mike Walter. Happy New Year, brother. Happy.
Why are you, if you're watching this on video, Joe, why are you like hunched over? You're not sitting, you're usually very comfortable.
Here we go.
Has it been that rough of a December?
It has not been easy, my friend.
So we should be honest and tell people we recorded this on December 30th. So
yes, we did.
I was going to ask how your New Year's Eve gig went, but that would be future tense in the past tense or whatever.
And we'd be lying to the.
Are you working New Year's Eve? Do you have an event?
I am, my friend. I've been doing the same small party for a event planning company that also uses New Year's Eve as their employee party. Mm-hmm. So there's always a theme. Cool. The theme this year is Woodstock meets the Wizard of Oz. So I don't know.
That's kind of trippy.
I made Colin make me a tie-dye shirt, and then I'm not sure about the other part.
Wow.
That's as far as I've gotten.
I don't get how the Wizard of Oz. Weird. Okay.
But it's going to be fun, and it's always a good time. It's at a small hotel in Chapel Hill, about 30 minutes from here. What are you doing?
Cool. I have a wedding this year on New Year's Eve.
Oh, I love New Year's weddings.
I love New Year's Eve weddings too. They're usually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And they usually start out being a wedding, and then like the last hour it becomes just a New Year's Eve party, and everybody starts peaking at midnight and everything else. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And Kelly will be working with me. I very rarely work with my wife.
Really?
But, New Year's Eve weddings. We'd rather be together at midnight. She'll be mixing. She'll be my assistant. Yeah.
I love it, man.
So, yeah,
it's amazing.
It'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
It's a place you play a lot, I'm assuming?
No, it's actually pretty far. It's about an hour and a half away, but whatever. And Kelly was concerned. She's like, maybe we should get a hotel room. I'm like, yeah, babe, let's blow half of what we're going to make that night on a hotel room.
On New Year's
and then
Eve.
have to worry about, and on New Year's Eve, and then have to worry about getting the dog coverage for the night. So, yeah. But I mean, dude, you know, for someone who's not used to driving home at 1 a.m, it can be a daunting task. But for our listeners and people like you and I, that's just, it comes second nature. Do I wish I was 10 minutes from home rather than an hour and a half? Sure, but it's just part of part of what we do.
I'm wishing you in advance an amazing year.
Yeah. Me to you as well, and to all of our listeners. And since this will now drop on January 2nd, welcome to 2020. I don't know if your numbers are showing it, Joe, but it looks like it is going to be a record year at Elite Entertainment. We are going into 2020 with about 100 more events than we went into 2019 with.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I need to look at that number.
Well, that's a number, Joe, you should look at. All of our listeners. I always know the number going into the year on January 1st. Last year scared me a little bit, and it turned out it was correct. 2019 was a flat year for us, and in a way, in a couple of different numbers, it was actually down. But 2020 is trending. Like I said, we are going in with 100 more events, booked events. I'm talking, into 2020 than we did at this point last year. So
that's amazing.
It is promising to be a huge year. And the theory that I've put out there, and that I think a lot of other people agree with, a lot of it just has to do with the number. 2020 is a sexy number. Yeah.
Yep. It is, man.
I think for your couples that got engaged late 2018 or early 2019, you know, when a couple gets married or engaged around the holidays, they have a choice to hurry up and squeeze it in that year, or wait a little bit and get it the year after. And I think for couples that got engaged last year, the decision was, let's wait till 2020, which is why we saw a little bit of a dip in 2019, but we are going to see that and then some come 2020.
Yeah, it was a bit of a punt. I agree, Mike. It's going to be an awesome year. We were flat, a little bit up this year, but 2020, you know, hang tight, everybody. Get ready for the onslaught.
Right.
And even now, like,
shared it on this. I don't know if I shared it with you or on this podcast, but I'm getting to that point in my life where I'm thinking about retirement more and more. And so I keep saying to myself, 70-year-old you is going to thank you for this. And I'm looking at all of 2020 like that. I am going to book, for me personally, I'm probably going to do more events than I have in years. And most of that money is just going to get socked away into my savings account. And when 70-year-old me is doing, you know, cruises around the world or this and that, I'm going to say thanks, 53-year-old Mike, for working his ass off in 2020.
Young Mike.
Yeah, young Mike. When I'm looking back on 53-year-old me as the young, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that parlays well into what I wanted to talk about today, Mike. And you know, I think it's a good time, you know, being that this drops on January 2nd for everybody to sit down and whether you write these down, I think it's important to write them down or put them in your phone or somewhere that, you know, you can't lose them, whether you stick them on a Post-it note right here on your computer monitor or what, and really kind of think about what your goals are. You know, what do you want to accomplish this year? And you know, whether it's professionally, whether it's personally, you know, it's not something that I probably would have done myself, but Mike said this would be a good topic, and I damned if I don't agree. So I kind of wrote a few things down, Mike, and I'd love to kind of start with you and talk, you know, on a professional level about it, not necessarily, you know, going through the year month to month, but, you know, I think we both would probably say that one of the early things to kick off the year is going to be Mobile Beat, right?
Yeah, so I mean, not only Mobile Beat, but I'm honored that I was given the final seminar role at Mobile Beat this year, which means basically the last seminar ever at Mobile Beat, because Ryan has sold it. And while the Mobile Beat name may continue, certainly Mobile Beat under Ryan Berger is no longer going to continue past this year.
Yeah.
And so I'm honored by that. So yeah, I mean, professionally, that's one of my first big things of the year. Is wrapping up that seminar, putting that together, and making sure that Mobile Beat ends on a high note. And then, you know, while we're on that subject, I've got a number of other speaking engagements this year.
Please.
I'm working on a seminar right now that I don't want to talk about publicly yet because it's still kind of in its infancy.
Okay.
And it looks like DJ Times will be the first time I unveil that. I've offered it to you guys at DJ Collective as well, so I might be if you guys think that I'm worthy, I might be that might be part of your content. But yeah, that's a seminar that I've started jotting down notes. It's in its infancy, but I really haven't started. If August is going to be the first time I am delivering it, then there's no urgency at this point. But it's kind of going to be a follow-up to the Why People Dance seminar and drill down a little bit further into some of the things that we talked about.
Okay. So while we're speaking, and so let me just touch on my Mobile Beat, you know, goals, I guess, or to start the year. That's kind of one of the first DJ conferences that Mike and I will be attending. I don't think, Mike, you're going to go to the Disc Jockey News one a couple of weeks before, correct?
I'm not. I you know, it's hard for me to get away twice in the winter. It's hard enough once in the wintertime because it's such a busy season for booking. So
and wedding shows.
Similarly, a couple years ago, John Young brought me out to NAMM.
Yeah.
And so I didn't. That was the only year I didn't go to Mobile Beat in the last decade because, again, it would have been back-to-back trips. So I would love to have gone to what John Young is putting together in February, but it was just it was impossible.
So yeah, we highly encourage you guys to make one or the other of those in Las Vegas, February, end of February, mid-March. But you can catch both Mike and myself at Mobile Beat. I'm going to be speaking about sort of out of the box marketing, which Mike can agree that is kind of right up my alley to speak on, and you know, how I've created some of the pieces I've created and why, and how you can do it while still not breaking the bank, you know, George Lucas style. So definitely want to see everybody there for that. And I'm just excited to be there, you know, excited to be around all the other DJs that are coming from all over. You know, I hope the crowd doesn't get split, you know, heavily between these two conferences. I hope the people that are close to Las Vegas attend both of them, quite frankly.
If you're on the West Coast and you can get away for both of those weeks, I see no reason, especially if you're not paying for airfare. If you're hopping in a car and driving 4 hours from LA or whatever, I don't see why you can't go to both. I don't think you can hope that the crowd's going to get split, Joe, but let's face it. Yeah. In all realism, it's going to get split because there are some people are going to go to one and not the other and vice versa. And I mean, I hate to see that for our industry, but it looks like it's only going to be a 1 year thing because next year they'll be folded together. So
correct. So Mike, so let's parlay that into what else do you know you're going to attend? What else are you kind of on the fence about attending? You know, you've got your regional conferences, you've got your Midwest DJs Live, you've got your ARM DJs, you've got your DJ Times, your other kind of peripheral shows like Wedding NBA, so on and so forth. What do you know that you're going to be at this year?
So I know after Mobile Beat that I'll be attending DJ Times, and I've already spoken to Shannon about speaking at Wedding MBA
again,
and
okay.
I will be attending DJ Collective no matter whether I speak there or not. Whether like I said, I offer Brian my new seminar, but whether he chooses that or not, I will definitely be attending DJ Collective. But those are the only ones I really know. I reached out to Mitch from Midwest, but apparently I was too late to get in on the speaking, so I don't think I'll be attending that just as an attendee. And I usually, even though I know this is ARM DJ's last year, I went last year, and it's usually in every other thing for me going down there, so I don't think I'll be attending that.
Yeah, I had toyed around a little bit, Mike, with the idea of going to NAMM, which is, man, that's coming up in like 2 weeks now.
Have you ever gone to that?
I have. I went last year briefly.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, walked it, just a day. Didn't give it a whole lot of time. I was already in San Diego, so I just took a quick car ride from San Diego up to LA. But
anyone who's listening is unfamiliar. Anyone who's listening is unfamiliar. It's the National Association of Music Merchants.
Correct.
Is that what it means? And so it is not a DJ convention. No. It's more of a musicians convention that has a small DJ segment to it.
Sure.
But if you've been to, like, what's the biggest one for our convention? DJ Times, I guess, as far as showroom floor.
Gear, right.
If you've been to that, multiply it by 20.
Oh,
for NAMM?
More
than 20. Okay. Yeah.
Easily.
Maybe 50 times. I mean, it's the type of thing. If you want to walk the entire showroom floor, you can do it in a day, but you're probably better off taking 2 days because, I mean, there are rows and rows and rows and rows of everything.
The Anaheim Convention Center is one of the biggest in the world, and it is packed from third floor to the basement. It's unbelievable how much stuff is there.
And it's the type of show that, like, you could be walking along and Stevie Wonder's just popping into a booth, or Gene Simmons is over here autograph. And they don't even announce stuff like that. They just, somebody popped in and they did. I saw a couple of artists just do like 20-minute pop-up sets in, like Gibson's booth or something like that. It really is it's an incredible show to attend.
It really is cool. Very cool. Yeah. Midwest DJs, I'm on the fence about that. ARM, I don't think I'll make it this year. DJ Expo in Atlantic City, I probably will be at, and probably no for Wedding MBA. That's kind of my schedule.
Okay.
So
and then Collective, obviously.
Oh yeah, the Collective, right. Yeah. I'm definitely there. I sometimes forget my own thing. So let's talk a little bit about business, Mike. Are you, I guess one of the first questions I always ask, as years change, are you guys going to tweak any pricing over at Elite? Let's start with that.
Probably not tweaking any pricing. We had a price increase a number of years ago that has basically stabilized. I don't want to jack it and lose at this point and lose number of bookings. So I'm comfortable with the numbers that we're booking. I'm excited about bringing on new talent. Starting hopefully next week, I'll be working with 2 new MCs in training who I'm hopeful by. And usually this is the time of year. My tradition is train them in the winter, get them ready for the spring.
Perfect.
So these people who have been with us for a while, and I'll be training with them over the winter with the goal of by April or May, they're ready to go as MCs. So that's something that always jacks me up. I always look forward to working with newbies and getting them from barely able to do bridal party introductions to, crushing it, within a couple of months. So business-wise, I'd say if there's going to be any big change at Elite, A, that's one, but then B, and I've known about this for quite some time. Chris Abrahamson, who's been here in the office doing sales with us for close to 10 years, is leaving us. He's gone back to school the last couple of years, and so he'll be leaving us throughout the winter. So that's a big change. Dominic and I need to sit down and decide whether we are going to bring another salesperson in, whether he and I can just change our hours and carve up the sales between the two of us. So that's going to be a decision we have to make, but that'll be a big change in how we're doing business moving forward.
What's Chris going to do? He's going back to school?
Yeah, he's gone back to school for financing, and he finishes up this semester, and then he's basically leaving us on both aspects. He'll be leaving the office this winter, and then leaving the DJ.
Wow.
It's funny. He put his cap on at the end of August, and I talked him into giving me October 10th because 10/10/20 is going to be the
premier day, right?
So I was like, Chris, can I just book you that one extra day on October 10th? So he's actually made 10/10/20 his last day. Yeah,
he's like, yes, Mike, for 99% of the total value of the contract. He hit you over the head on that bill.
Exactly. Yeah, right. No, I'm glad you didn't think about that.
So same here. No major price increases. As this year closes out, like as we say, we're recording this on the 30th of December. I think I'm going to, I don't know. I feel like as I look back on the year and how many shows I did and how many I already have booked for 2020, that I'm going to make up either some sort of Joe Bunn signature package or just make my Saturday night rate offensive. Like I'm getting towards that.
Okay.
Era of I just don't need to play so much, or I don't know. I don't know. I still love it. Played last night. Sunday wedding. Rocked it. Had a good time. Got up this morning and came in like I always do. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm doing a little too much. So I may not offensive, but the where it makes people really think if they really want me or could they just have somebody awesome.
Right. And it also makes you go, hey, I'm going out on a Saturday night or I'm going out on a Sunday, but wow, it's worth it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I get that. I think that's why a lot of owners will bump up their own personal price. Yep. Maybe I'm not there yet because I'm still, I just wrapped up a year where I did 80 events and I'm happy with that number. I'm not looking to put a drag on that number.
Yeah, I got to do less than that. And otherwise, same, Mike. We've got a training scheduled for a couple of my newer, younger guys, early 2020. Excuse me. And then also, I guess more than anything, in terms of company wise, I definitely need and want to help my sister get up and running out in Montana. She's got a couple really young guys that are gonna be good. They've got potential. And then she actually met with a guy right before Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas. And I had been telling her, like, there's somebody out there that's the anchor, the really experienced guy that we need to almost be the trainer / first guy booked. And she finally found him. So I'm really excited for her. And she and I and Jim Collins are going to do some virtual training. Jim. From Connecticut.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to do a bunch of stuff via internet, just because Jim's in Connecticut, I'm in North Carolina, and AD is in Montana. So pretty excited about that.
Very cool.
So pivoting. So let's talk about personally, like, project wise, do you, so the end of this year, shameless plug for Mike. If you didn't pick it up, Why People Dance, the video, is available at djmikewalter.com. I saw him do it twice, 2.5 times in 2019. Fantastic. He's got a really, really, really strong recording, audio and video wise, that he took in Atlantic City this year. So if you haven't picked that up, definitely do that. So I guess that's my next question, Mike. Is there a new Mike Walter? I don't care if it's, I always refer to my book up here on my shelf. Is it a book? Is it a recording? Is there a Christmas album coming? What's going on?
The only future project probably will be when I do this seminar that is in the works now, I will probably duplicate the same thing. I'll get a good recording of it and make it available, because let's face it, not everybody goes to conventions, so people don't have. And with a seminar, to me, if you pack enough information into an hour or 90-minute seminar, people can't remember everything anyway. So even if you saw Why People Dance, I think you should spend the $30 to buy it so that you can go back and watch it over again. When you see a movie that you love, you usually go back and watch it again.
Of course.
It's the same type of thing. I think you're going to have takeaways from it, even if you watched it this is the first time. And again, for $30, it's not like it's breaking in anybody's bank.
No, no, it's a great piece. Great piece. And you know, along that line, same for me. I mean, I'll be creating, you know, monthly content just like I always have been for the Vault members. You know, definitely pushing out several videos and articles every month. In tune with the Facebook.
Well, you gave me a shameless plug. Let me do the same for you.
Okay.
If listeners are not a member of the Vault right now, you're crazy, because when Joe talks about unique content every month, you blow me. When I get your email the first of every month about what is now available in the Vault, it blows me away. I think, and this is why you have made such strides in, what is it, 8 months since you started the Vault? Less than that?
February 20th. No, coming up on the 1 year.
So 10 months.
Yeah.
Coming up on a year. I think it's why you've got so many members that are so enthusiastic about it, because it's not like you just started this thing and then you're like, hey, enjoy. You are feeding the fire every single month, and it blows me away with your creative wheels must be spinning. So.
They are, man. They are, and the membership does tell me what, you know, what they want to see as well. I'm definitely I get a lot of, you know, I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose, which is not the worst comment I've ever heard, but I am going to do a little bit more planning this year on maybe creating some documents to say, all right, if you're a year one DJ, watch this, you know, almost like a little roadmap.
That's a good idea.
And then, you know, that you've been doing this for 5 years and you're really a gearhead, watch this. So I'm going to work on that early this year.
Or if you're looking for marketing stuff,
yes,
click here. If you're looking for performance stuff, these are the videos you want, because some people have specialties that they need. Some people feel like, hey, I'm great at performing, but I don't know shit about sales. So point them in the direction. Yeah,
correct.
That's a good idea.
And then, you know, I guess, and it looks like in 7-8 days, I should have the prototype here for the first Bunn Gear Command Center straight out of New Jersey.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
You gotta be psyched out of your
I'm
mind about
super stoked. So there's 3 prototypes. 2 will come here, and then one's going to LA, to the NAMM show, to the EV booth, which is super cool. So, you know, fingers crossed, God willing, that happens. So
very cool.
Super stoked about that. Several people have trusted me with their money, and I think we've sold about 25 so far, you know, off of a rendering. So shout out to those people that trust me, and I promise you I'm going to deliver something awesome.
That's cool. And, 25 is awesome. That's a great number.
And then the final thing is, you know, the collective. As you mentioned it earlier, you know, and again, Mike and I, especially Mike, has been spoken, you know, been a part of, been on boards of different conferences all over literally the world. Like he was in England just last year. It will probably be in Australia or Greece at one of these other conventions, or Canada soon. So he and I have seen it all. And, you know, if Mike is that adamant about how he's come into the collective, you know, that, you know, again, I am a part of it. I hate to pump it up that much, but, you know, if he's that passionate about it and I'm that passionate about it, it's definitely something that you should look into, you know, for this coming fall, 2020.
No doubt. I learned more from the collective this past year than any singular thing that I attended or read or anything else. And I'm a 31-year veteran. So, and I never would claim I've seen it all, and I don't know. Yeah. I don't need to learn anything ever. So
me neither.
Neither should any of our listeners. Yeah. How about personal? You got any personal goals? You got any personal resolutions? You and Ainsley, any big vacations this year?
And I know you're going to be disappointed. It's not on the calendar, and I know that's a big thing for you.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
I know. Joe. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm not going to lie, man. It is overdue and warranted, needed. It will not cross over into March 2020. Put it that way. So let me get this last few days of 2020 behind me, and this January 2nd Thursday wedding, and then I'll give you an actual date and show you the tickets soon. How about that?
That's a promise I'm going to keep you to.
Talk to me about Mrs. Walter and yourself. Like, what's going on?
Kelly has a big birthday coming up this year.
We won't say the number.
I don't think she wanted me to say the number, but it ends in a 0. So those are always the big ones. And so it was her choice to make, and she chose Scotland. So we are going to be away. Yeah, we are super psyched. I've never been. We're in the process. All we've done right now is booked our airfare in and out. So, and we have 13 days there. So we have to kind of map out our itinerary. We'll be leaving May 22nd. Her birthday is May 30th, and we come home on June 4th or 5th. I forget.
Fantastic. Yeah. Is that supposedly a good time to be there? I mean, I guess
it is supposedly Scotland. You know, it's more north than we are in New Jersey. Yeah. So it looks like it'll be early spring weather for us, like here.
Sure.
Which is fine. We actually, when we travel, we prefer that. You know, I'd rather have a jacket on during the day than have 90-degree heat and get.
Right.
I don't think Scotland ever has 90-degree heat.
No,
but,
right.
You know, I mean, I'd rather that if we're going to be sightseeing and driving around. I think that's the better weather to have anyway.
How about health, Mike? Like where are we on the runs and the marathons, half marathons, Ironmans? Where are we?
I think my marathon days are over. My last marathon, I wound up in a cast. So I think running those distances, I think, are behind me. But I just wrapped up. You know, I set a goal for 800 miles for myself this year. I wound up doing 850. So I'm gonna nudge that up a little bit and try to make 900 my goal this year, which really comes out to 17 a week, which is not that insane for somebody like myself that's running basically 4 or 5 times a week at a reasonable amount. So that's health wise. 900 miles for the year, but I'd like to increase speed. I'd like to focus a little bit more on speed. And this spring, when the 5K season comes around, I'd really like to try to attack my 5K PR, which I set 7 years ago. So I'm basically competing against 46-year-old me.
I was about to say, younger man. What was that? What was that time?
20 minutes and 32 seconds, which comes out to I think a 6:30 or 6:28 pace.
That's smoking,
it's daunting.
Dude. Yeah.
It's daunting. Yeah. And I also, have you seen Game Changer on Netflix? I recommend it to everyone. It's basically talking about how we really don't need meat in our diet as much as we do. It's well worth watching. And based on seeing that, I've made the decision Mondays and Tuesdays this year are going to be meatless for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just lunch, dinner, and just
plant-based, vegetarian, plant-based. I don't know if you and Ainsley have tried any of the plant-based stuff.
She has.
My wife and I made lasagna on Christmas for our parents.
Yeah.
And we used Impossible Meat, which is a plant-based meat substitute, and didn't tell our parents. And after we ate the lasagna, we were like, hey, how was it? Did everybody like it? Blah, blah, blah. I even said to my dad at one point, I said, how do you like the chopped meat? Because I used a low-fat version.
Sure.
And so he's like, I like it a lot. And then we said, well, we're going to be honest with you guys. It's Impossible Meat. It's plant-based. And nobody knew the difference.
Wow.
So, Kelly and I have made tacos with it.
Yeah.
We made lasagna. You can sprinkle it on pizza. It's really, it's hard to tell the difference between that and chopped meat. Sausages, things like that. So there's lots of substitutes nowadays.
Yeah, man.
And I want to give it a shot. I want to try Monday and Tuesday meatless for me. So that's one of my resolutions personally.
I mean, you look good too. Like, I mean, I know when you got hurt, you were kind of, you had put on some weight and stuff. Like, I mean, you look lean. Like, you know what I mean? I know.
Yeah, I mean, could I be leaner? Sure. I don't look like Marcello with my shirt off, but
nor do I.
I mean, I'm happy with my weight. I'm happy. Yeah. I still fit into my size 32 jeans. And,
right.
And I mean, at my age, I see a lot of guys my age that look like they've resigned themselves to the couch of doom. And I haven't done that. So I'm happy with that. I think this business is part of it. It keeps you active. It keeps you young. Keeps you moving.
It should. Well, man, this was good. This was really good, man. I'm super stoked for the year, and I know you are too, man. And can't wait to see you in real life soon. Hopefully, I'll be coming up there to see that booth soon. So
well, when you do, let me know.
I will.
And as ever, to our listeners, when you share this and listen to it, if you have your own resolutions, please leave them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys. What are you looking forward to in 2020, professionally, personally, any goals that you have? You know, when Joe said in the top of this show, write them down. I think that's an important thing. Another important thing is to share them. when you share a goal or a resolution publicly with people,
yes,
it makes it harder for
accountability.
So the fact that I just said on this air that Monday and Tuesday is going to be meatless for me, that will help me maintain that, because I'm going to say, shit, man, I told 1,000 of our listeners that I can't be caught eating a burger on.
I was about to say, if you post a burger pic on a Monday,
exactly, exactly. So I think put it on, put it in as a comment. It'll help you hold to it.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you all for listening, and we're going to keep on doing this as long as you're listening.
Happy New Year.
Later.